There could be tens of thousands of components that are actively used in everyday operations. When a company does not have a plan to actively monitor the availability of those components, and one of those components fails, the hidden risk of obsolescence becomes highly visible. In general, obsolescence refers to when a component is no longer available in the marketplace because an original equipment manufacturer has made a decision to discontinue its production. For manufacturers, it occurs when one of those discontinued components is incorporated somewhere within their operating assets. As a courtesy to their customers, many OEMs will publish their intention to discontinue the production of a component. So a last time buy represents that notification, and it's often accompanied by a deadline to make a purchase for those components before their last production run. Another designation that's used in the industry is not recommended for new design. And that's another way that OEMs can use to telegraph to the marketplace that the product is reaching the end of its life, reaching a last time buy, and ultimately the end of its availability in the marketplace. In manufacturing, criticality is associated with reliability engineering principles. And it's a function of the probability of a component failing and the impact that that failure would have on the productive output of the equipment in question. So when we overlay obsolescence with criticality, it helps paint a picture of the risk associated with that failure and the challenges that the organization could face if they needed to find a replacement for that obsolete component. When you think of a modern manufacturing facility, there will be numerous assets and machines that comprise the overall core manufacturing operations. And each of those assets will be comprised of thousands of components, and when you add it all up, there could be tens of thousands of components that are actively used in everyday operations. When a company does not have a plan to actively monitor the availability of those components, and one of those components fails and it's obsolete, the hidden risk of obsolescence becomes highly visible, especially when the maintenance and manufacturing teams have to find an alternative to that component and figure out how to get back up into production. The risk of obsolescence generally increases as the capital asset ages. And through the studies that we've conducted over the last several years, there are patterns that we've seen in relation to the rate of obsolescence over time. For example, we've seen that obsolescence can reach 5 to 15% of the total bill of materials in 7 years. And as the asset ages to 15 years, we've seen that ratio reach as high as 20 to 25%. But this trend is not universal, and in some cases we've seen obsolescence reach 15% in less than 5 years.